Hello guys, welcome to my channel Learn with Satya. In this session, we discuss the tips and tricks to remember the parts of Indian Constitution. At first, in part 1, we have Article 1 to 4, and the description is the Union and its territory. So, after we finish our part, we discuss about our tricks. Now we discuss about part 2. Um, so in part 2, article are given from 5 to 11 and it gives citizenship. In part 3, article from 12 to 35, it gives fundamental rights. In part 4, article number 36 to 51, it gave directive principle of state policy. In part IV, A means amendment. Article number 51A, fundamental duties. Part V, article from 52 to 151, it states the union. Part 6, article number 151 to 237, it says the states. Part 8, article number 239 to 242, the union territories. Part B, article number 243 to 243O. So basically, article 243, in 37 amendment of Indian Constitution, the Panchayat Raj introduced. So we learn in part 9 of Indian Constitution about the Panchayat Raj. So in description the Panchayats. Part B, the part IXA means 9A states that the municipalities and the articles from 243p to 243z and g included. In part 9b, the article from 243zh to 243zt, the cooperative societies. In part 10, from 244 to 244a, the scheduled and tribal area are described. In part 11, article from 245 to 246, relation between the union and states are described. In part 12, article from 264 to 300A, the finance, property, contracts and suits are described. In 13, part 301 to 307, the description is trade, commerce and intercourse within territory of India. In 14, the article from 308 to 323, services under union and states are described. In 14A, article 323A to 323B, the tribunals are described. In 15, the article are 324 to 329A, elections and the procedures of elections are described. In 16 article, 16 part, articles are 330 to 342, special provisions relating to certain classes are given. In part 17. The part 17 states about official languages. The articles are 343 to 351. In 18, the articles are 352 to 360 states about emergency provisions, which is important, very important in exam point of view. So in part 19, the articles are 361 to 367 miscellaneous. In part 20, only one article, that is 368, is given, which states about amendment of the constitution. In part 21, the articles from 369 to 392, uh, it states about temporary, transitional and special provisions. And the last one is part 22, which have article 393 to 395, which give a short title commencement authority text in Hindi. So we now briefly describe the parts and the articles and what are the descriptions of that article. So now we remember the tricks to remember the parts of Indian Constitution. So in the Union Territory, you can remember U. In citizenship, the first letter C. A can, trick, the trick was can. So to remember fundamental rights, the trick was fly. So the part similarly in part 4, to remember directive principle of state policy, the trick is directly. So the fundamental duties, trick is from, and the union, to remember union, the trick was united, and the states, the trick also the states, and the union territory, the trick is using. The panchayat, the trick is para, the municipality, the trick is military, the cooperative society, the trick is the operation, and the schedule and tribal area is special, and the relation between the union states is rocket. So from part 1 to part 11, we remember easily by this trick. So the trick is you can fly directly from United States using paramilitary operation, special rocket. Okay. So from part 12 to part 22, we remember that in part 12, finance, property, contracts and suits are given. So we remember in by using tricks fruit. So to remember part 13, trade, commerce and intercourse within territory of India, we remember the trick. The trick was test. So in part 14, to remember service under the Union Territory, so the trick is sweet. So in part 14a, to remember tribunal, we using trick 2. So in part 15, to remember election, we using trick it. So in part 16, to remember special provision relating to certain classes, we use the trick is so. So in part 17, to remember official languages, you remember the trick is on. In part 18, to remember emergency provisions, you using the trick is it. And in the to remember part 19, to remember miscellaneous, the trick is Maggie. And to remember part 20 about amendment of the constitution, the trick is as to remember part 21 for temporary, transitional and special provision. You is using the trick testy. And to remember part 22 for short title commencement authoritative text in Hindi using snacks. So the total from part 12 to part 22 is fruit taste sweet to eat, so on eat Maggie as tasty snacks. Okay, in this way you remember the parts of constitution. So you must remember the parts of constitution in this way. Okay.